Did you watch the whole show,
Of course, yeah.
Brandon?
Of course, I watched the whole show.
What, what the fuck was that ending?
Oh, we're about to talk about it.
I'm confused, man.
Let me get some get DJ. We're gonna get
Well, they
D.
just I, this is the second year in a row where Cody's main event match has left us all in a state of what the fuck just happened.
They really had a meeting, and this is what they came up with.
Well, welcome to the post show of the DJ and Heel show. So, we got a lot to talk about. DJ, let me get. What was your overall view of the show itself?
I mean, I'll better than last year's night one, uh, except for the main event. The main event was kind of yeah. Gunther and Seth was match of the night, clearly.
I mean, we also knew that night one was going to be the lower of the two nights as well. So,
Aw,
did
it's
did did,
WrestleMania.
did it meet your expectations? Below expectations?
I mean, it definitely exceeded my expectations, which was be worse than last year, and it wasn't. Night one was better, slightly, just, but also the bar was set so low. I think, and this is gonna sound mean to me. Worst moment, Bianca announcing her pregnancy. Did we really fucking need that?
I
I knew
mean,
she was pregnant from the second she walked out. As soon as I seen that big blue fluffy fucking dress, I was like, okay, she's hiding something. She's pregnant as fuck.
I honestly thought when she was starting to take it off, she was gonna like it was gonna be like an impromptu match.
No, she was pregnant as fuck.
Well,
As soon as she came out with that, they were hiding something. She wasn't wrestling. You could see it in her face, her cheeks. She was blown up as soon as she was talking in her promo from doing her entrance because she's so out of shape and pregnant. But congratulations, though. It's just I didn't think we needed that for a WrestleMania moment.
I mean, it's actually it brings down the question about tomorrow night though, because I was under the assumption she's coming back right in with Jade, but now that she's out for the next 18 months or so, it's possible they put the title on Rhea.
Yeah, that's the thing. That and do you think Pat McAfee will have any involvement in the Roman Punk finish now too?
If we're going by what he said, he's done. He's out of the business because Randy lost.
Which, again, back to that point, why the fuck did they do that? I don't understand how that. Basically, how the finish was, it was a double turn. They double turned. Randy became a babyface as soon as he RKO'd Pat, and when Cody took advantage of Randy being distracted to get the win, become champion, he apparently turned heel. Am I the only one who saw this?
Yeah, but then he got punted in the head, which isn't exactly which is a not
They
exact.
undid all that work. I don't understand. I'm just left with more questions.
But it's not even good questions. It's like a what the fuck? Like, I. As soon as he turned. Listen, we can. As soon as Randy RKO'd Pat, at that point, you saw the crowd react. Why didn't you fucking put the title on? Like, what is. Again, are we running this back at Backlash? Is this going to be a rematch at Backlash? We've been saying that all night.
I mean, now it makes no sense for the rumored tag match.
No, they cut that. No,
Yeah. So
it's like, why? It does, like, again, if you knew that you RKO, like, again, you can't tell me that they don't plan these matches out, right? We see it behind the scenes with WWE Unreal.
Right.
They plan these matches out. So you're telling me that you planned this
That's the problem. You planned this that way, and this is what you come up with.
Wait, but I got.
So
What if Randy really is hurt, and they had to change the plan because his back is that bad.
Okay, that's fine. Then the double, you leave it at the double turn, and you don't do the end. Like you're gonna now go and kill fucking Cody.
Leave the match open ended.
So I'm confused of what's going on here with that main event. That match was really not good.
That's again second year in a row Cody Rhodes put on a stinker. I also can understand why, in their eyes, they can't make Cody lose 2 years in a row.
Then
I just feel like you just need. This is the problem when you don't create new stars. You know what I mean?
But
That-
Dylan,
this
you're
has
wrong.
That has
They
nothing to
haven't
do
made
with new stars.
This has nothing to do with building new stars. This is the fact of you planned this out. You knew you were gonna do this. Who thought it was a good idea to give us? Listen, I don't care what the fuck Nick Khan says. You know that they listen to fucking social media. You know that they listen to Twitter. You see all the room. Everybody's shitting on the whole Pat McAfee thing. You did something to appease the fans by having Randy RKO Pat. You made Randy a babyface, and why not capitalize on that?
I agree with you, and I just don't understand what this direction is with Cody Rhodes. What are we gonna even? I just don't understand. Again, other than
At this point, that's just their guy, I guess, and that they're just gonna run with it.
Yeah, like I said, other than the fact that we feel bad that Cody lost last year in such a lackadaisical fashion, we're gonna give him the win back in another shitty match. Whoever's putting together these Cody Rhodes matches
needs to go
for
man.
WrestleMania needs to be fired.
Needs to go, man.
But it doesn't. Listen, you could have fucking Muhammad Ali putting together these matches.
This is why.
At the end of the day, hold on, Dylan. You can have fucking Muhammad Ali putting together these matches. And at the end of the day, who's the motherfucker that's signing off on all this? Like, come on. How do you look at that and say that makes sense?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
nothing.
Again, you knew the turn. You
Dylan,
knew that the
you
turn
gotta let
was
other people
happening.
talk.
You knew the turn was happening. You planned this out, again, weeks ahead. You knew this was going to be the case. You knew that everybody shat all over the Pat McAfee. Because now everything that Pat said in the past 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, is irrelevant. So why did we do it?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too. And I'll tell you this right now. I think we're heading into a dangerous territory with Cody that I don't want to get into, but I think it's really time to really have this discussion about Cody, and potentially they're gonna have to turn him heel, because I think that if they don't, it's gonna get worse. Then it's gonna feel like Roman 2018 all over again.
Well, he worked like a heel for a minute there. He poked the eye, low blow, and then they roll back that shit in like 5 minutes.
That's why I think Cody Rhodes needs to turn heel, because I'm telling you, if this guy continues to get booed week after week, it's gonna feel like Roman 2018.
Not even that. The fans were left confused and in the state of what the fuck was. It wasn't like, oh my god, they were expecting Cody to get the pop, big baby face pop, and the crowds were like more like, what the fuck just happened? That's not what they were expecting. That's definitely not what they wanted. And what they just saw was a double turn. And I said it while we were watching it. Like, all right, if if you were going to do the double turn, Randy RKO Pat McAfee, Cody takes advantage, and 1, 2, 3, Cody's still the champ. Randy's babyface though now, so when he comes back, we can run it. It gives us a reason to run it back at Backlash.
Yeah, I think Randy wins it there.
But that's not WrestleMania. Like, why are we using WrestleMania as a stepping stone to any other show?
This is why I just feel like we need to get someone new running the creative, because I don't know what's going on with Triple H nowadays, but man, this has just been confusing as hell, man. Like I don't know what we're doing here, and it's like, I watch Raw and SmackDown on times, and I just feel like we're just going like what are we doing, man? You know what I mean, DJ?
It depends. Do you think that AEW also needs to change the creative?
Fucking right, they do.
Meaning Tony Khan drops the book?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that yet. I have to see where this Darby thing goes, but yeah, Triple H, 100%.
Because I was going to say, if we're making comparisons on wild booking decisions, if we're asking anybody to step down or do any type of stepping down, we got to look at Tony just as much with some of his crazy ass booking decisions as of late
Yeah,
as well.
100%. I agree.
That
with
is true, but we cannot say but AEW. This is just about
Oh no,
WWE.
No, I'm not.
Right,
I'm not
right.
comparing anything.
Right.
I'm just talking.
No,
about
he was yelling at me on this one, and he's right. I was just in defense of the Triple H stepping down thing, because it's not like he's the only one doing bad booking decisions as of late.
But if we're talking about WrestleMania as a whole, and the way that these are, listen, we can't argue the fact, and I can admit it wholeheartedly. WrestleMania is above and beyond what All In is right now. It's just there are different levels, right? So
like AJ Styles legitimately came out and said that WrestleMania kind of feels that he literally came out and said that WrestleMania doesn't feel special anymore. It's lost its luster. And I agree with AJ said. I think WrestleMania it started to feel that luster, man. Like I feel like they're all about the moments, but they don't care about like creating intriguing storylines coming out of it. And this is where we're at right now. And I think it's just I think it's time to get some new people in that writers' room and just figure out where to go next.
It sucks, and it's a letdown, and it's a gut punch when the main event, at least back-to-back years, is the worst part of the show or the down part of the show. Am I wrong for at least I want to at least hear
I agree with you 100%, DJ. I agree with you 100%. Again,
hold on 1 second, Dylan. Real quick, Ropes. Do you agree with that? Do you think that this is like the second year in a row where at least the main event was kind of a letdown? Cody's main event specifically.
Course. Yes, even before the end of that, I was like, this match is not going as it wasn't what you believe it should be. And then towards the end, you think it's gonna pick up and give you some drama, and then they just do some weird fucking shit that makes it a total shit show.
It wasn't even that Randy and Cody did pick up in terms of the drama, and they did pick it up, but then the finish was just like, what the fuck?
Confusing. Tell me why he's RKOing the guy that he's been with for 3 or 4 weeks now. He did nothing. Nothing.
Well, maybe like, okay. As far as
he didn't do a fast count, that's why he RKO'd him. He came in to help. He didn't help.
Yeah, he got involved at the beginning. The plan didn't work out. Then he came back in. He did a regular slow count when he should have done a fast count. And it's Randy Orton. When does Randy Orton not turn on people with an RKO out of nowhere?
So are we gonna get now with these 2 punts? Are we gonna have Cody come out and saying he's hearing voices in his head?
No, but I'm just saying that fucking rumored Jelly Roll Pat McAfee match with Randy Orton and Cody's thrown out the fucking window now.
Not necessarily.
He turned on Pat.
Well, who knows? They'll probably be like Randy was hearing voices in his head. It was a mistake, shit like that. Dude, they'll fucking turn it into whatever they need to turn it into. Let's be real.
So, how are you feeling about the finish, Brandon? You ain't say shit about it yet.
Everyone,
you've just been hearing me go off.
I've been letting everyone just, vent. So, confusing, obviously. I don't understand what they were trying to accomplish. I don't think it's a full, complete double turn like you're suggesting. I think it was just, it's kind of like Cody just, realizing that he made a mistake last year by taking it easy and he didn't hold back, especially after everything. I mean, I understand why maybe, Randy RKO'd Pat, and he kind of did leave it open with, Randy standing tall, doing the punt. That was the first time we saw the punt in how many years? So that's what makes me think it's not, a double turn. So, I mean, it's confusing. There's no other way
Until I
around.
was gonna say until the afterbirth, I thought, like I said, everything was double turn. They just and pretty much pulled it off. It worked.
And
And
they
then
just flipped it.
undid
They
the
just
work
flipped it
with,
back.
all right, I'm gonna beat the shit out of Cody even more and try to get some heat back on me and off Cody, because obviously they knew they were gonna get that. Either A, they knew they were gonna get that reaction, or B, Randy called a quick audible and said, "Let me get some heat back."
I think they wanted to tease the turn, but they didn't want to turn Cody, and they don't want to pull the trigger on it, so they made sure to leave it with the fact that Randy was the heel.
All right.
But
So real quick, next I want to do this next match real quick because you're going to be the tiebreaker on this, or no, not even. You're going to be my backup on this because Ropes and Nick said the Stephanie Liv match felt rushed. And
Yes.
a lot of let me tell you, in all honesty, all the matches felt rushed. There was no. It felt like there was no time for any of them.
But Brandon, I got something for you. I got something for you here. People are always saying women should main event WrestleMania at some point, right? They always say that.
Yep.
I always push back and give why they're not there yet. There's no way they're gonna get there with a 10, 15-minute match for the world title.
Yeah, but it should have been more than 6, 7, 8 minutes.
It should have been a lot longer. It should have, like, what was that? Basically, what happened in that match is that they showed me the bill was better than the match itself.
It just, I don't know why, and you could talk about the commercials and the breaks, but they were all basically 4 minutes. And there was the entrances. It's WrestleMania. We're supposed to have entrances and stuff like that, special entrances. But it's just like all the matches. I think only 2 matches went into double digits time wise.
They could have gone to 10:30 and give the women's match a little longer.
Yeah, and even in the women's match, like you had the distraction, which it takes you out of it. You didn't need it.
It's too much like a TV match.
100%.
Exactly.
None of the matches felt like they were WrestleMania worthy or even pay-per-view worthy.
None at all.
They all felt like they were just regular TV matches that are on ESPN.
And I said it in the match. You're telling me that you needed Liv and Raquel out there for all of this distraction? No, man. Like, now what? If I'm Stephanie, I'm turning around and saying, why did I had all of this to deal with. You can't beat me one-on-one. Let's run it back at Backlash. And then again, it goes back to, so we're using WrestleMania as a stepping stone? Like, no, WrestleMania is where we blow
for
shit
a feud
off.
that just started. Hold on, that in the defense of this feud, for a feud that just started, they want to keep it going because it's just getting hot, especially after the past few angles. The outside interference can lead to the stipulation match, which is probably going to be a cage match if they do a stipulation to keep the other 2 out. And Liv needed the win, and I think the quick win was for just so they didn't, do everything they can do in the first match. I get that it's WrestleMania, and they should usually the expectation is everyone go balls to the wall, but I thought this was perfect for what it was. It was a nice, quick, steady match. They both got their shit in. Liv looked great. I think this was the best Liv Morgan match I've ever seen. And that's the ultimate compliments I can get. Liv looked great. Stephanie looked great, too. They both got their shit in, and it was quick in and out.
Steph didn't get her shit in.
She didn't get the devil's kiss in.
Explain that to me at WrestleMania.
She did get the
Booker
devil's.
T wasn't there to call it.
She did get the devil's kiss.
There's my excuse.
She did get it.
I didn't see it.
She got the. She hit.
Yeah, she got the devil's kiss. She didn't hit either one of her finishers though.
Yeah, she hit. No, she hit that backbreaker one, but she didn't do the spiral tap or whatever the twisting moonsault she uses now. She
I
didn't
was gonna
hit
say
that.
I didn't see the doubles kiss. I must have got distracted by something.
Yeah, I might have.
No.
I didn't see the double kiss unless it was double kiss on the outside.
No,
No,
well,
it's in the middle. It was just quick.
and then Liv tried to do it to her, but it didn't go. But yeah, she
But
definitely.
there you go. It leads to what we said, what me and Ropes were saying too. That match felt rushed, and I don't know why. So if you were planning on rushing us out of there that fast, did you need all of that distraction?
I felt they did it just to protect Stephanie from losing. So it wasn't
Maybe.
a clean.
Listen, I say take fucking 3 to 5 minutes away from Bianca's segment and fucking give it back to the Liv Stephanie
You
match.
didn't even. It didn't,
Thank you.
You don't even have to do that to
Or
Bianca's
don't
segment.
do the fucking Bianca. I lied. Don't do the Bianca thing and let them have their match longer. That I would rather do that in hindsight.
Well, you could have put the Bianca thing on tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's what? Only 6 matches.
Well, I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of segment with Danhausen and Cena tomorrow. So
Oh, because Danhausen is more important than Bianca Belair, I guess.
Don't get me fucking started, Nick. Don't get me started, because I'll get started. No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm being started as in like, oh, the Danhausen isn't. Trust me, I've been saying that for fucking weeks.
Hey man, Carmelo Hayes is not on WrestleMania, and Danhausen is.
honestly, I think Carmelo's legitimately injured because he wasn't in that battle royal last night on SmackDown.
Dragunov is not on WrestleMania, but Danhausen is.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Dragunov shouldn't be on WrestleMania.
Wait, what was that, Hub?
Dragunov shouldn't be on WrestleMania. He's not one of the big snubs from this year.
I mean, honestly, Nick, who's going to make more for the company on WrestleMania weekend, Dragunov or Danhausen?
Oh no, I hear you.
Yeah,
he's definitely there to make money, and I mean, hey, listen, it's a business. Y'all gotta make your money. Make your money. It sucks that some other people didn't get.
And let's not pretend like Danhausen is stealing a spot from Dragunov. You know what I mean? He's going to do a comedy segment with Cena. He's not like stealing a match. It's not like
Dragunov's comedy segment.
Oh,
I'm just saying. Let's just say.
Okay, well here, even if it's not Dragunov, not Hayes, you're telling me you couldn't feature, I don't know.
I have a bigger problem with the fact that
Stratton versus Julia, you couldn't feature.
I have a bigger problem that Io and Asuka's not on the card.
Io and Asuka, you couldn't feature that.
Hey Nick, can I ask a question?
If it's
Before
WWE,
you ask this question, I have to let Ropes know. Sudden announcement: we might have a fucking run-in out of nowhere from our version of John Cena. So please don't go nowhere.
That doesn't.
All right.
What?
I don't know, man.
John
Arena. I don't know, man. I was again for it. The here, Brandon. We gotta get Brandon's opinion on it because I had Jet tell me that this is the fucking same. It is.
His name's not Jet no more. His name's 2 Points.
2 points.
I don't. Give me 2.1 point 0.5.
So all right, you missed it yesterday, Nick. So for Trivia Mania, there was literally a feud between Brandon and Jet. They were talking shit for weeks. Jet said he was gonna piss on Brandon's grave. Got 2 points in Trivia Mania and lost, and Brandon's Trivia Mania champion.
I don't know. Anyways, well, I mean, when you're trying to tell me that an unsanctioned match is the same thing as a no DQ match, you lost the plot with me. So
but that's everywhere wrestling. They use different names for the same kind of matches.
So what me and DJ were saying is the Fatu and
Drew McIntyre.
match. I said that didn't need to be an unsanctioned match.
There was nothing to it. There was just nothing to it. I hate when they use these stipulations and they don't take advantage of the stipulations. Like it's an unsanctioned match.
Fucking tables match.
They didn't even fight into the crowd. It was nothing to like that was so unsanctioned. It was just a regular brawl.
That match should have had the color.
Thank you, Hub. Thank you, Hub.
That
DJ,
actually wasn't
now?
Hub.
What now?
That wasn't Hub, but
Or whoever.
You're welcome.
Whoever fucking said it. What now, DJ? What now? Talk now. Let me hear you.
I didn't even hear what was said. What happened?
I don't know what DJ. What did you say about the match, DJ?
I said, I know I agreed with the point what Nick said. It didn't need to be an unsanctioned match, even though I also stated the point that they built to an unsanctioned match, at least in kayfabe to the story. So that's why it was an unsanctioned match. The match itself did not, watching the match itself, it did not need to be an unsanctioned match. They could have went with a different stipulation. But I also pointed out to Nick that the match didn't need blood just because it was an unsanctioned match, especially if you knew the main event was going to bleed. And yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, because that falls into the whole argument we always talk about when it comes to AEW. And I'm not trying to do the whataboutism, but just the fact that, you know, we know they're going to have a stipulation match in the main event. There's going to be they know there's going to be color. So why are you going to have color early on? So it's almost the same, you know, the same mindset in that argument.
Exactly. No, and I have that mindset.
He hit him in the face with the stool. Why would he not bleed?
Yeah, that was the one problem too. Drew was using like a wrench to hit him in the head. Like, I'm sorry, if you're getting hit in the head with a wrench, you're gonna get busted open.
That's what I mean. Like, if you're gonna give me an unsanctioned match, you gotta give me some color. And if you knew that you were gonna do color in the Cody Rhodes match, you're telling me you can't tell me that they didn't plan these matches out weeks in advance. So if you already knew that you're gonna have color in the main event, why would you make the stipulation a fucking unsanctioned match? Make that shit like a fucking chairs match or a last man standing.
No,
match.
that's where I disagree with you. They ain't planning out their matches weeks in advance. They maybe had a week in advance for this one. But they're not planning out their matches weeks in advance. Oh, maybe we should do this spot, this spot, this spot. No, it's more of a day of in the moment thing. They usually come up with the shit, especially when they did Elimination Chamber. They were coming up with that shit the night before or night of when they were doing rehearsals. So in terms of putting these matches together, they know who they're facing, yes, but when they put them together, it's more of a, I want to say, not last minute, but one of the last things they do. A, so it's fresh in their mind, and B, so it doesn't seem like they rehearsed their matches.
But it also doesn't feel like they're actually calling it in the ring either. It still seems very rehearsed.
It depends on which match you're talking about.
Most of them seemed rehearsed. There was nothing that I felt was like
not Gunther Seth.
Okay, I could concede to that one.
Gunther Seth, those two literally told each other before they went out there, listen, we're just gonna beat the fuck out of each other and apologize later.
The entire show felt like a bunch of Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown matches and segments, for fuck's sakes.
John is here! John.
I didn't get the feeling of, hey, this is WrestleMania, this is big time, this, that, and the other. It felt like a bunch of shit you could have had on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, no,
Speed felt the most like WrestleMania.
Nothing really came off as important.
The closest was the main event. And even
Not
that,
even that.
Even that they ruined it. The ending you could have saved for SmackDown this week.
I think the closest was, I think out of all the matches, like we said, the Gunther Seth match really, if it wasn't for that match, I mean, one match doesn't make a whole card.
No, AEW fans seem to think that.
No, listen, you're talking to at least a smart AEW fan.
Brandon, is John a speaker?
Yeah, he's
Okay, hold on, I gotta do the trumpets.
Yeah. I watch a WrestleMania card, and John is here. This is amazing.
What the fuck was that?
Here we go.
The only thing I want to say is I don't ever in my life want to hear anyone tell me that the main event to WrestleMania 9 was the worst main event in history because Hulk Hogan pinning Yokozuna fucking shit all over whatever the last hour of that match was. The match peaked before the match started with Jelly Roll laying down through a table, and it got worse from there.
Thank you. At least I wasn't the only person who saw him doing the lay down on the fucking table.
John, keep going, buddy. Keep going.
He just tipped over. And we wasted a month pretending that, like, we've got this new revolution, Pat McAfee's here to save the world, for Orton to turn on him after 3 weeks?
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
I can't. I'm blown away. I'm going home and I'm watching WrestleMania 9 so I can go to sleep happy.
John,
That's how I have to spend it.
Can I turn you into an
Oh, yeah, nice fucking move. Are you a fucking retard? You fucking moron.
That's
Oh, dick. Sorry, fucking idiot. Cut me off.
John, can we turn you into
I'm
an
so
AEW
glad
fan?
that's on audio. Best Rock and Ropes reunion ever. Best Rock and Ropes reunion ever.
Wow.
How good he's going to cut me off again. This is glorious.
John's fucking on road rage right now. Jesus.
Yeah, TKO put a car in front of me right now. These fuckers didn't ruin my night enough.
John, can we turn you into an AEW fan now?
I'm about to. I am the new Darby Allin stan for the rest of my life.
Don't say that. I'll buy us tickets to Double or Nothing, bitch.
So
Listen,
Do it.
So
Double or
listen.
Nothing might be actually a good show though. So
All
I
right.
mean, you'd be buying tickets for an actually not bad show.
So listen to this. There were 7 matches tonight, and 4 out of the 7 were under 10 minutes.
That's gross.
Fuck.
So these people pay for TV matches?
Yeah, oh yeah, basically. Not even, or yeah, for WWF that's a TV length.
They spent thousands.
The
Dude,
let me just one sec, guys. Let me just break the
mortgage payment on a WWE ticket. She'd fucking nail me to a cross and fucking neuter me.
The fact that these people paid
Thousands and thousands of dollars to go watch a WrestleMania blows my mind. And the fact that JJ and Walter are in Vegas and they didn't go watch a WrestleMania, like they didn't go to WrestleMania, good on them. Wow.
Well, let me just.
I just want to know. I don't know if you guys talked about it or not, but why did What's Her Nuts cut her hair and come out just to announce? Number one, I look more pregnant than that bitch does. Number two, you came back just to announce that you're not coming back?
Well, I think she wanted to let everyone know.
John, I love you. Never change.
I said when she did it, it takes 2 people to make a baby. Just saying. So what's
who's the father? John Cena is the new Maury.
That's what I mean. Like, where's Montez in all this? Like, are we just kind of excluding? Like,
No,
I'm
Michael Cole congratulated Montez.
No, I know that, but Bianca's married to him. We know that he's married. We know this. This is public information. They don't hide it on TV. Like, we know.
So you're telling me Montez
couldn't come out after she announced it with
flowers or something to join her wife?
To join his wife? Like,
Montez doesn't get a WrestleMania moment when he doesn't get a SmackDown moment.
Facts.
All right, so real quick, I just want to go through this real quick. So the 6-man tag was only 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre was 14 minutes and 10 seconds. The 4-way tag match was 8 minutes and 35 seconds.
Which was good. That was actually perfect length for that match. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Becky versus AJ was 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Gunther and Seth went 15:45. Liv and Stephanie was only 9 minutes. And then the main event was 22 minutes and 55 seconds.
Explain this to me. These people don't have as many house shows anymore, and they cannot give you a lengthy, good match at the most expensive show of the fucking year. People fucking have to travel internationally to come see this shit. And you give them a less than 10-minute match? Are you fucking out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, TKO ass fucking the fans right
Man,
now.
fuck you, Triple H and TKO and all them motherfuckers.
They had commercial breaks longer than the matches.
oh,
Thank you.
should have heard me.
John, you should have heard me while we were.
You
doing
should have
the
heard
last
Nick.
one.
Nick was literally bitching about it the
I'm
entire
like,
time.
dude, are you like how are we getting fucking commercials like this?
Okay, I'm
on
gonna
WrestleMania.
I'm gonna explain.
Like,
Nick, you gotta understand one thing. They are not pay per view. AEW does pay per view, so they roll through everything. They
I
are
know,
being
man.
streamed. They're being streamed on a streaming platform that still sells ad time. So you're gonna get the commercials. You're gonna get the breaks. We got them on Peacock. You know, so that it is what it is.
Yeah, but you don't.
It's still excessive, though. You're paying $30 a month for this service, so basically $30 to watch a pay-per-view. How many minutes do you think we had in commercials total? Probably 45 minutes, not counting the fucking cable advertisements that I had to look at.
Somebody I saw on Twitter. Somebody clocked it. I don't know who. So this show was 4 hours long. So in 4 hours, we got an hour and 20 minutes worth of wrestling.
You gotta be fucking shitting me.
Listen, I wait for Zeus to talk about this tomorrow.
You're
the fucking
2 points. You're robot 2 points.
For 2 points. My bad.
Do you know how I know that we're living in a simulation now? Here's how I'll tell you. Because Joe Rogan stood with Donald Trump and signed an executive order to legalize psychedelics, and here I am, feeling like I'm on psychedelics, agreeing with Nick, ready to go to AEW pay-per-views with him for the rest of my life. Like, this whole world is
Sign me up too.
right now. Like,
listen, if people can say what they, and you guys know that I'm the AEW defender. Y'all know that, and I get it. AEW does. We don't need a 5-hour pay-per-view for AEW. But at least in 5 hours, I'm not sitting. Yeah, I might be sitting there saying, "Fuck, this is too much," but I'm never not sitting there saying, "Are we? Can we start this already?" Right? Like, it's like
yeah, with AEW you get wrestling fatigue. With WWE you get commercial fatigue. It's just I don't know what's happening.
I was saying that to Nick too. I was like, yo, I feel like we can get a happy medium of both. I feel like AEW, give us a fucking potty break or two. God damn it. Don't give me back to back. Give me a second to digest something. And with WWE,
but I'd rather take what AEW gives me.
What'd you say, Ropes?
I'd rather take what AEW gives me than this shit. At least it's my choice. If I miss something with AEW, it's because they're trying to give me as much as they can. Like, I can sit here for like 5 hours and know I'm gonna get my money's worth of AEW. I'm not getting my money's worth of this shit.
And let's be real though, going into an AEW pay-per-view, you kind of map out. If you're a smart fan, and if you're a smart and knowledgeable, not even AEW fan, but wrestling fan in general, you kind of see the card before you're watching the show, and you're kind of like, okay, listen, I don't like this match, so I'm gonna skip this match because I haven't been following the build. But I'm gonna make sure that I don't miss this match. At least with AEW, you can do that. With this, what we just saw, like, come on, we're sitting here saying, okay, let's go.
I mean,
did we need Liv to give me a fucking music video before she came down the ring?
I mean, like I said,
why is Paige a champion? I forgot about that. What the fuck was that?
That's not the problem.
Hold on. I'll explain it to you. The plan was going to be put it on the Bellas anyway.
That's
we're
fine.
going to get it no matter what. So
Okay, why was that the plan?
Nostalgia.
Give them their moment.
But Joan, I got you one better. Who were the biggest women in that match? Tell me their names.
The Fridge.
Not physically.
Physically,
Yeah,
who were the biggest women physically?
Wait, physically or Star-wise? Wait. I thought you were talking about Star-wise.
No, we're talking about the fridge and the freezer.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So
Even
they're
though
the biggest women.
Maya is still big.
Did you notice how they were taken out? Like, did they do any big spots where they were taking out this huge woman so she can lay there for hours so the other women can just do their thing and, lose the championship? Like,
Lash did a lot in that match.
No, that's not what I'm saying. How do you keep those two women down long enough to lose the championship?
That's true.
They
Like,
did
they
that
did not. They just
slow ass flip
they
over the
punched
ropes
them
where
out.
like you watched Nia climb over and fall.
Exactly.
So it didn't even look good.
Nothing. They did nothing there to put those women out in that environment, and they just were laying there doing nothing. That's how they take the titles of those women. That's a fucking joke.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't like.
No,
Listen,
but I that's what I was trying to explain though. Why I was just trying to explain why Paige won the title for her first night back. It wasn't planned. The plan was for Brie and Nikki to do it, and they just figured, well, we got Paige back for the surprise pop, and we're not gonna beat her on her first night back. We might as well just stick with our initial plan and not change anything too much. So
I knew as soon as she came out, they were winning. This is what they do with their little comeback tag.
Oh, I said that to Brandon initially last night, but then he talked me into fucking Bailey and Lyra, and then I got pissed at the result, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not listening to Brandon no more.
Listen, I honestly didn't think that they were gonna. I know they brought the Bellas back intentionally to put the tag titles on them. I really didn't think with Nikki being out, they were gonna go ahead with that. I didn't think that Brie and Paige were actually gonna like take the pin in the match.
I was strictly still sticking to the Hardy rule. Paige is still a big enough return to, especially with the Bellas having their first big title match on Mania. That Paige is a good return to where, okay, we can give her the belt and still have that super feel good moment.
But why? Like, what's the reason? The story, this
nostalgia.
But
there was no story for the women's tag. The story was the Bellas were gonna win.
But this is what I'm saying. This was supposed to be the Bellas run. So now what are you gonna do? So what, you're gonna take the
again? I pitched it the same thing I pitched during the when we were talking about it, dude. You just sit there. You have Nikki trick Paige into giving her the belt back because it's rightfully hers or blah blah blah, into some type of we're all cool together scenario. Then Nikki takes the belt, hit Paige with it. Then the Bellas turn heel and beat the shit out of Paige. Then AJ Lee comes out, helps Paige. There you go. You got your first tag feud right there, and you can reignite that division and get some interest back in those belts because no one gives a fuck about that division or those belts.
No one gives a fuck about these old women.
So then, what are we doing to create? Listen, I don't know how many times we said it about AEW. Then what are we doing to create new stars?
They're all coming up right now.
No, we're bringing back all the old people. All the women's titles are held by women from the Divas era, for the love of God.
Who?
Paige, Bella,
wait, first,
Thunder Tits with the Intercontinental title.
Becky has the belt back.
Well, whatever. She's old enough to be not the Divas era, but she's still too fucking old and terrible.
Becky's not Divas era. Jade's still hold on.
No, but she's terrible.
But hold on, Jade's still world champion. Jordan Grace is about to challenge Julia for the U.S. title. I don't know if that's the match.
Oh, get Jordan Grace off my TV.
Tiffany won the match.
Get her out of here. Where's Joe Hendry? Give me Joe Hendry.
Also, Paige is only 33. She's not old.
No, Paige was the third
Oh,
youngest
she's
in
old. Right, but she's been on TV for like 15 years now, and I'm already sick of her.
Okay, but
if I want to see Paige, I'll go to Pornhub. I don't want her on my TV.
But she's not old, is my point. She's been around, but she's not old.
She's old in dog years.
Brandon's old.
Yes.
Okay.
The Bellas are over 40.
It's like I said. It's just if you knew that Nikki was out and the play was the whole time to put the titles on the Bellas. You're telling me you couldn't give them to Bailey and Lyra?
That's what I thought. I thought you were gonna wait for Nikki to get back and then do it later on.
Well, yeah, because that's what we've been building to. With Nikki and Brie have said they wanted to come back and do this as a team. Well, guess what? Nikki's not doing this with Brie.
And Ric Flair is drunk as fuck, everyone.
And on top of it,
all right.
On top of it, it's not even the more popular Bella. It's the Marty of the Bellas. It's not the Shawn. Nikki's the more popular one. Brie just is there.
I was just glad she didn't concuss anybody when she started throwing kicks.
I said the exact
Yeah,
same thing.
she didn't Liv Morgan anybody tonight.
So what
That
are we
was
Right? It
saying?
was Liv that she like shattered her face by kicking her repeatedly and not
Yeah.
noticing.
Yeah, I believe it was Liv Morgan.
So what are we
All right.
saying?
I'm hopping off real quick. I just pulled in and there's like 7 cop cars surrounding the building next to mine.
Oh shit! It's coming for
So
you.
I'm gonna go dip out and see what's going on. Maybe they heard my rant. But yeah, I'll probably be back on in like 10 minutes, unless this is more exciting than I think it's gonna be.
Nah, we'll be here.
We'll be here.
See you guys.
I don't know, man. Like I said, they needed something night one. I don't think Gunther and Seth was enough to make this. I don't think Seth and Gunther is enough to make me go out of my way to watch night 2 tomorrow.
Well, night 2 was always better on paper, and I felt like this night 1 was always lopsided to begin with. I'm looking at it now, and it's just weird that they really stacked like so many of the women's matches on night 1, and you really only have one women's match on night 2. But like I said, night 1 always was the weaker, which I think it all pretty much always is. So, I mean, night 2, you got to watch night 2 simply for Oba and Brock.
Yeah, I was gonna say night 2. You got Oba and Brock, Punk and Roman, Rhea and Jade at least purely in name value.
But that's the thing.
The ladder
If I was
match.
gonna watch it for Oba and Brock, I don't have to purchase the show because Oba and Brock is going to be on ESPN.
Yeah, but if you already got it, you already got it. You're not purchasing.
You already got it. But I'm saying for new viewers.
Also, I read something. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but I think they're going to pull an AEW with the ladder match. I think it's going to bleed into the show where you have to, order it to see the end.
I can see that.
So I read that was a plan that they were thinking about either one night or night 2. So
WWE doesn't do it. So I mean, it doesn't. They wouldn't be overkilling it.
Well, I'm just saying. So I still think night 2 is gonna be better, just based on the matches we have. I just don't understand why there's only 6 matches. So I mean, like Oba and Brock, I don't expect to go more than 10 minutes. The entrances will probably be longer than the match itself. I would think the ladder match will get a good amount of time. Jade and Rhea will have less than 10 minutes most likely. Sammy and Trick, 10 to 15 maybe. Same thing with Finn and Dominic. You'll get maybe 10 to 12 minutes. And then Punk and Roman, I could honestly see them giving them 25 to 30 for the match itself.
When you have a rapper podcaster that is pointing out that Saturday WrestleMania isn't really the WrestleMania, I feel like that's a major problem.
Who's that? The guy that Jey Uso got in a fight with?
Yes, Cameron said he didn't want any more Saturday WrestleMania dudes on the show. Get him some Sunday WrestleMania dudes.
Right, but that's also that's also Pat was doing the same bullshit too, where he was saying, we're going to discount night 1 because night 2 is crap, even though night 2 is was the better on paper. So I don't know why they're trying to that doesn't make sense from perception wise why you're trying to make one night be bigger than the other when they both should be just as big.
I don't know. Well, what did you think of the 6-man? I know this is kind of out of order. I'm trying to save the best for last.
Yeah, we kind of never went in order. I mean,
We've just been shitting on the show left, right, and center.
Y'all been shitting on it. Listen, I thought I'm still sitting. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I'll die on that hill slowly. Stephanie and Liv was technically a masterpiece.
I think the 6-man was a Raw match. I think it was a matter of just having iShow Speed do that one spot because they know it's going to go viral on his channel.
What do you think of his performance, though?
I thought he did good. I thought he did well for his first official match.
The only issue I had with his showing was his facials. I hated his facials. Him walk every time he come into the ring, he do the blowing out, blowing the breath, big blowing of the breaths, where you're seeing his cheeks puff out, looking like he's constipated, and trying to push a really hard shit out.
The tough guy face was not tough, but the facials every time he took a bump were funny. I was watching with my lady. She's not really a wrestling fan. She thought that was hilarious.
It took me personally out of it a bit, but athletically, he's more gifted than Logan Paul at this shit. You can see it already. If he actually stayed around and trained, he'd be a fucking natural. But he's not. He's big. He's bigger than wrestling, and he knows it.
He was
If anything,
physically
he's lending some
bigger
of his
than I
cachet
expected.
to wrestling.
Physically, he looked bigger than I expected.
Nah, he's in shape. Like, this motherfucker is definitely, like, athletically a marvel. He just gets more money doing all this streaming shit. He's smart. He's like, why get paid to do sports and risk my body? And Zeus is here.
Let him do, 2 matches a year. Let him make a little extra cheese, There's no reason to kill your body.
That's if he wants to. You don't understand. This motherfucker already has money. He has Drake money.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, if it's something that
Like,
he's obviously interested.
Logan Paul wish he had iShowSpeed money.
You think he has
He
more
made like
money?
300 million on Twitch.
You think he has more? You think Speed has more money than Logan Paul?
Yes. Oh, hell yes. If his money, yes. Logan Paul got to split that for everything. Most of the money Logan Paul makes, he has to split that shit X amount of ways with X amount of people. Where all the Speed money is his money. Think about it. Logan Paul's podcast, he ain't pulling in all that money. He got to split that shit 3 ways. Same thing with Prime. He got to split that shit with X amount of people. All of Logan Paul's money, ergo why Logan Paul's in wrestling, because at least with that money, that's his income purely. That's money he's making on his own under the name of Logan Paul. iShowSpeed is a whole different ballgame. All the money that motherfucker making is under iShowSpeed. He don't got side motherfuckers like Kai Cenat or all these other streamers. He's purely his own entity out here. Like I said, he got Drake money.
All right, well, I want to get Zeus in here. I want to know what Zeus thought of the show.
What's up, guys? It is late. It's like 4 a.m. here.
I'm shocked you're fucking up.
I know, you're nuts.
I'm massively disappointed in tonight. I thought the only things I really enjoyed were Seth and Gunther and Paige coming back, and that was fucking spoiled by people who need to get a real fucking job. The main event
was match of the night for me, definitely.
Yeah, easy. But the main event was a culmination of just fucking terrible storytelling that was done for all the wrong reasons, and you still have fucking idiots on social media telling us we're being worked, and it's just, I don't know. I was just really disappointed. And I thought for a second they were going to do a double turn in the main event because Cody was actually working heel and Randy was, selling an injury like a babyface. Whether he's really injured or not, I don't know. I thought the match, the first 60% of the match was boring as hell. And then when Randy started to get some color, it sort of picked up a little bit, and then it all just fell apart. Pat McAfee's done. And this is all done just to sell tickets. That's all it was. Nothing else. There's no long-term story here. This was just a TKO move to sell tickets, and now it's done.
Well, it's not
He
done.
has to stop. Cody retains and gets beat up to set up the rematch that he wants.
Yeah, I was going to say,
do
it's
this
not
all of the time, and it has to stop.
Yeah. Mania is supposed to be the end in the beginning. It's supposed to be the bookend of your quote-unquote your year.
Where it all begins again.
It's not supposed to be, Backlash has become rematches and stuff like that. So it's not what WrestleMania used to be. Used to be WrestleMania was pretty much the end, and that was it. Now it just continues on and on and on. Around and around we go in the circle. So
this was a bad idea from the start. This Pat McAfee thing. There's nothing I understand letting it play out, but we have now and it sucks. So everyone can shut up about it now.
And not even that. We had Jelly Roll on our TVs for a fucking month just for him to lay down on a table and for it to explode.
They wasted 20 years of storytelling for a WrestleMania match for something now that doesn't even matter.
And on top of it, they finally leaned into the freaking 20-year history in the video
Yeah,
package, and then Cody's entrance, and
I said that to my friends here. I said that's the best bit of storytelling they've done in the whole feud, and it's literally right before the entrances. It was
uh,
just a complete mess, and you know, like it can only get better from tomorrow. I hope, but yeah, I mean, was this worse than last year's night one? I'd say probably because at least last year's night one had a match of the year candidate on it in the triple threat,
Oh
but
yeah.
it also had worse matches. I say last year, so
What? No. So Zeus, let's compare Cody match to Cody match real quick. Do you think this is worse than Cody Cena?
no, no. Cody Cena was the worst main event I've seen in years. This wasn't that bad, but the story going into it was worse. But I think last year you had like the War Raiders New Day, awful. Jay Gunther, awful. Tiffany Charlotte, awful. I think, and the matches were so short tonight as well. Only two matches went more than 10 minutes, I think.
we actually
And
three of them. We actually talked about that before you popped in.
yeah, and I think that a lot of this night was very women's match heavy as well, and they seem to be the ones cut short, which I guess is just something that happens in modern wrestling. So um, yeah, just a really confusing, disappointing night for me, to say the least.
All right, I'm gonna get Kefis in here. I want to hear what he has to say about what he thought about tonight.
Yeah, I just got back to my room right now. Um, I thought it was one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my life, and I've been to a lot of shows, and I'm here in Vegas right now.
Oh, so you actually attended?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Me and my client, who I'm kind of ashamed of inviting him to at this point. I don't know. Tonight was one of those nights where like we left, and I was just thinking, dude, like, why do I even waste my time on wrestling anymore? It was a dog shit night. Not good. The show was not good. The best parts of the show was the Gunther and Seth match, and then partly the Randy Cody match. Cody was getting booed heavily, heavily. Um, I just
It
heard
didn't
that
seem like during the entrance. During his entrance, it seemed like he got the usual.
Yeah, his entrance was loud. His entrance was loud, but
They like the song. They don't like
during
Cody. That's
during the
issue.
match, he was getting booed. He got booed several times. I just found out right now scrolling through X that there were commercials. Is that right?
There were commercials, not during the matches. Like they didn't cut in between matches. It was, between each
It was
match.
Hogan documentaries. It's just a Hogan documentary
Well,
for
the
like 3 minutes
Hogan
at a time.
the Hogan stuff they were showing, but I thought I read online that there were commercials.
No, they never interrupted any matches to like take a commercial
Okay.
break.
Yeah, well, it's just probably some people
It
over
was
exaggerating. Yeah, all around. Like, look, I'll say this: the Jacob Fatu Drew, I didn't really get much out of it. Um, it just felt too rehearsed, a little too rehearsed. In hardcore matches, it's nice when they don't feel as rehearsed, even though they are. But there's a way of executing them in which part of what you do uh, seems like something you're just doing on the spot. But it just seemed very rehearsed to me. Liv beating Stephanie, that was like super abrupt the way it happened at the end. I think it caught a lot of people off guard, caught me off guard too. Just kind of, she had jumped out onto Roxanne and Raquel, and then literally 10 seconds later, she lost the match. So it seemed really abrupt to me. Randy Cody literally made no sense. Why bring Pat McAfee now in hindsight? Like, why? Obviously, there was always the question of why bring him in, but now it's like an even bigger question. Why did you bring him in just so Randy could RKO him and then lose? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, there's not a certain creative decision around it that makes any sense. Even if they try to rehabilitate it in the future, it makes no sense. And then the first match with the Usos and LA Knight, against the Vision, I Show Speed, just another kind of a shitter. I don't know. I thought it was a really bad event. They've had Saturday night main events that have been better than this.
Are you going tomorrow as well?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, because I paid for. Oh shoot! And by the way, like they were super strict on people taking pictures.
How do they stop that? Everyone's got a phone.
Dude, I don't. They kept like waving people down. The last SmackDown I was in was a pre-taping, so we got to see two shows. They didn't give a shit at that time because I was posting up spoilers everywhere. But yeah, there are guys waving people down for taking pictures. It was weird.
That is weird. I don't know how you could actually stop that. I mean, you got 50,000 people with cell phones and who have cameras, so I don't know. Like, I don't know.
No, so like I agree for the most part with you, Kefis, on the like everything felt lackadaisical for the most part. Except I really did like I like Liv and Stephanie, and I thought it was. Everyone says it was rushed. I thought it was perfect because it sets up. They didn't do everything they could possibly do. They're definitely setting up another match for Stephanie to get a rematch at Backlash. And honestly, technically, I thought it was a masterpiece between both of them. It was the best Liv Morgan match I've ever seen.
Oh, speaking of Liv Morgan, dude,
that entrance was
the entrance was cringe as fuck,
brutal.
And the people, everyone looking around, like there was no noise whatsoever. Nothing.
Why would they have the spiciest guy they could possibly pick be her male dancer? Like, it looked like some random gay dude off Craigslist was who they got to be the guy dancer. It was.
They got no reaction. They got no reaction whatsoever.
No, and the first thing I said was, I'm glad I don't have a 3-year-old daughter because I definitely couldn't watch this shit with her.
And I don't know if you could tell, Kefis, but during Becky's entrance, her band was lip syncing.
Yeah, I couldn't see that.
Like,
so to explain why people feel that Stephanie Liv was rushed, Stephanie went from posing and smiling to pinned in less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, it was super fast. It was a shock. Like I'm sure if you watch it, you could see the audience reactions. Maybe it was just a shock. It ended quick, very abrupt.
But I also agree that Gunther, Seth, match of the night, they delivered. I think they beyond delivered, especially with how low expectations everyone had going into it. It was an actual wrestling match / brawl / it was what it needed to be and was supposed to be. Seth looked great.
It was probably the best match of the night, honestly.
All right, let me just get.
Seth looked great. He looked like prime Seth Rollins. It looked like he didn't lose a step. You know what I mean? Gunther, he got the best match out of Gunther, and Gunther vice versa. And Seth, and everything that needed to happen happened. Gunther, Seth had Gunther right where he wanted him. Braun Breaker spared him out of his shoes, fed him into Gunther. Gunther choked him the fuck out. And Gunther can crow about beating Seth Rollins, but he knows he really didn't beat him. But we don't have to worry about him and Seth having another match right now because Seth got bigger and better things to deal with.
All right, I want to get Zeus in here. He's got his hands up.
Yeah, on Stephanie and Liv, I think it went 6 minutes 50 seconds, and at 1:45 a.m. that match finished, and then at 1:30 in the morning, Randy and Cody started. It felt like an absolute eternity between those two matches, and I can't even remember what they did between those two matches.
Bianca's pregnancy.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But yeah, it's just it felt really short, Liv and Stephanie, even if they are going to run it back, like 6 minutes, 50 seconds for a world title match at WrestleMania is just bizarre.
Yeah,
especially the build they had going into it.
Wikipedia says 9 minutes, but who knows? It still was short. That's the main point.
Yeah, it was really abrupt. But yeah, Gunther and Seth, definitely match of the night. Drew and Jacob was okay. I was kind of expecting more. I didn't know if it being on free ESPN had any effect on that.
See, I felt like Drew and Jacob needed to be paced like how Gunther and Seth was.
Yeah, it felt like Seth and Gunther was more the unsanctioned match, even though there was no kind of weapons and stuff. But even at the beginning, it was kind of more crazy.
That was the sense I had too. It just seemed very rehearsed. The Seth and Gunther, obviously they rehearsed it, but my voice is gone right now, but obviously they rehearsed it, but um, it felt it Seth and Gunther didn't feel as rehearsed. You know what I mean? It felt like there were things happening outside of their standard, you know, choreography or whatever. But with um, with Jacob and Drew, it just felt very sanitary and rehearsed, even with the spots that they had.
It felt
Hard to
safe.
explain.
It felt safe.
Yeah, it did feel safe, but it just felt overly rehearsed. Like everything was too perfect.
Right.
Everything was too perfect in that match.
And that doesn't make sense because if it's a brawl, it's like this unsanctioned. Things aren't supposed to be perfect.
I think it was because they didn't want to accidentally get juice, and knowing how Jacob works and knowing how Drew tends to be prone to getting accidental juice, they probably were just, trying to be on the safe side because of the main event having the amount of blood that they had.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, if you guys go back and just watch it, I guarantee you'll see everything was perfectly executed. It just felt just too rehearsed for me. It was a good match though, but I mean,
All right, let's get Raiden in here. I don't think he's ever been in our show before. What's up,
Why
Raiden?
did they hit Jacob in the knee with the wrench and then he never sold it at all ever?
Hi guys, thanks. Hi, together. Sorry, Zeus, you probably don't know. I'm actually here in Vegas at WrestleMania.
Oh, nice, man.
It was, I was intrigued. I was listening to you guys. I thought the consensus we had here was that the matches were too short by the main event, and they went back really fast. But the really interesting, and I wanted to ask you whether this manifests at home was there was a discernible shift in the audience opinion even at the start of the match with Cody. And I was at SmackDown yesterday as well, and there was a significant tranche of people booing him there yesterday, even when he came out with Punt. I just wonder how long they can resist the inevitable. It might actually make what I think, anyway, it's a saturated character, probably more credible and more relevant. And in fairness, after I think that the bit where the credits hit and it went off camera, it was really interesting because Randy stood there for a while over him with the title. I wouldn't say getting cheers, but certainly getting plaudits and being lauded by a portion of the crowd. And when Cody got up after a couple of minutes, and I was surprised because it did seem a bit underwhelming, the ending, the reaction to him was a bit different. So unless they've got something amazing lined up, and Punk announced this yesterday on the SmackDown, I think it was still the televised bit, it really, to me, seems a little bit bizarre as to what the hell they're doing. Like, this is your main event, right? This is, one half, all right, it's night one, whatever. And it just seemed like, and I think generally the matches were quite decent. I wasn't terribly bored with any of them. But I just thought the main event, given it went on for so long and it was so involved, I thought it deserved a better ending than it possibly got. I don't know what you guys think, but that was it. But yeah, the consensus here was that the matches were quite, other than the main event, that the matches were quite short. But that might just be the way that, we were sort of taken by the crowd. The atmosphere was very good compared to last year, I'm being told. So I don't know what you guys. Thanks.
Raiden, that's funny. I'm here too right now, by the way. But I'll message you later. But I just told the guys the same thing about the booze and stuff.
I think the best.
Do that, please. I'm around, like I said.
Yeah,
for a few...
I'll hit you up in DM in a little bit.
Yeah, no worries, man. I don't know what others thought, particularly if you're at home, whether we got it wrong or right, because I always think you guys have the fuller picture as opposed to here. But that was what I was, and it'd be really interesting to see what they do with this Cody character. Because for me, anyway, that's where I think he's going. I think there's inevitable crowd reaction turning against him. Whether they do the old Cena stuff where they resist, or whether you think that they'll take it and immerse it, and I think he could be a very, very good heel.
For the first 10 minutes of that main event, from the TV perspective, the crowd felt bored as hell. Like, it was there was no energy for that main event.
They were cheering Randy several times, and they were booing Cody several times in person. I mean, it was pretty loud. It was pretty audible.
Okay.
They definitely turned down the crowd. I was gonna say, if you know, I noticed like production shit, like little production things, something weird like that, and I noticed that they turned the crowd down for like the first half of that match. Because at least when I was watching, I ain't hear shit. I barely heard anything. I didn't really hear any boos for Cody, or at least not as many. So I was like, I'm shocked they're not booing Cody out the building like they did last year.
I noticed it later in the match, but the first portion of the match, it just felt, when Randy was like selling the injury and stuff, and it just felt really dead. And then when Randy got color, that's when I felt it start to come alive a bit.
Let's get Dr. Jean in here. I'd like to know what she thought.
It's hard not to be divided after that main event, and this is back-to-back stinkers for Cody. So it's like they really need to start thinking. They have to start thinking about what the fuck they're gonna do with Cody from now on. Because if he's gonna keep putting stinkers like this up as your top baby face, maybe he don't need to be your top baby face no more.
What do you think of the punt?
It looked good, and they got a good. And honestly, they got a really good shot of it. It didn't look super devastating, but it looked like a good punt.
Have you seen Cody's eye socket?
It looks nasty. That's what I'm saying. He looked like a good punt. He got all of it.
No, I haven't seen a picture of Cody's eye yet.
His eye is like fully shut. Like he can't open his left eye.
Also, I guess
he kicked the shit out of him. If you watch the replay, Clarendon, he kicked the fuck out of him.
Yeah, the top of his left eye is completely swollen over.
Like the way he kicked him, like the top of his foot did hit the side of his head.
I bet he's missing Travis Scott punching him in the ear now.
It wasn't a shoot kick. I wouldn't say it was a complete shoot kick, but he did kick the fuck out of him. Randy asked for forgiveness instead of permission.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't try to hurt him. I'm sure it was, I want to get Dr. Gina in because she's in our space. I want us to know what she thought of WrestleMania Night 1.
Woo, woo. What's up? What did you want me to talk about?
I just want to know I want to get your take on Night 1 of Mania as a whole.
My thoughts on Night 1 are it was an okay show. Just listening to like what you guys were talking about, and I'll just fill in some of my thoughts because I agree with a lot of what you all said. With the Liv and Stephanie match, I was a little bit disappointed, but then after thinking about it, I think why it was so short, and I did post like Randy's entrance was longer than their match, but I think with Liv's head, I don't know that she could have maybe gone longer than that. And that's maybe why it was so short.
That's a good point that,
Yeah. Like I just don't know how much she could have really taken with that. And they can't really put a mask over it because she still has a hematoma on the top of her head, so that's probably why they couldn't do a whole lot with that. With Pat, now that part of it, like I didn't even think about. He said if Randy lost, like he's done. So he's done. Totally forgot about that aspect of this.
If he keeps his word.
If he keeps his word. So I'm thinking he said to them, look, I want to be done because he had said that prior. I want to be done, but I really would like to. One, I never got to do like the heel aspect. Two, I want to do one last WrestleMania. What do you guys think if like I did this? And they said, yeah, let's do that. And this was his way of being done. And I guess that's my thought on that. Otherwise, I can't understand why they did that angle. But to me, if that was the case, then I guess it makes sense. But also, it's just kind of a weird way to leave things. What else? What else did we have?
What did you think?
I'm really proud of Jacob. That match was short, but it was good. I wish for a street fight it would have been a little bit more ruthless, I guess. But I thought it was good. I was happy for him.
Were you happy?
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
As a female watching it, what did you take from AJ's super entrance with the kids that didn't look like they even knew how to skip and looked confused? And like it came off so weird to me, and I'm wondering if maybe it hit different to like women watching that. Like, did that come off as like a better thing, or did that come off equally as weird to the women watching?
I'm probably not your normal woman to ask, so I would say I'm probably not the like your average demographic woman. Like, hey, represent all women. I probably don't. For me, I can only speak for myself. For me, I was laughing because I was laughing at the fact that they didn't really they were really trying their best at skipping. And then I laughed. And then I laughed at myself of going, I don't think I could do any better, so I shouldn't laugh.
Okay. My buddy's daughters are like 13 and like 10, and they found it weird. So I was wondering, like, okay, maybe like a more of adults would find, but like, so everyone kind of found it just like
it was awkward. It was awkward. But then we were like, well, good on them for, trying to bring back skipping. But I thought what it was trying to do was bring like the difference of Becky coming out being very hardcore, and then the complete opposite with AJ Lee being very innocent, kind of that. So from a perspective of what it was representing, I think that's what it was trying to do.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I just found
the
it
world's
funny
worst
that they were trying
babysitter
to
because she lost the child and didn't notice.
What's that?
Oh, my bad.
She lost a kid and didn't even notice.
Well, she's only had a dog. She doesn't know how to take care of kids.
Oh, I was
I was
like,
just about to
what?
make that
She
point.
lost a kid and didn't know
Well,
it? I didn't know
I'll say
that.
this from just being being in the audience, and Braden can either verify or deny, but I felt like the audience response to Becky was way louder than it was for AJ.
It was. I mean, I wasn't there, but from what I heard, I agree with you. Like, it seemed that way as well. But like, my whole thing was AJ hasn't really done a whole lot. Like, people complain about Roman never defending his title. What has AJ done with hers? So I had picked Becky to win it, and people, like, not people, it was one person came at me and was like, well, why are you picking Becky? Well, what has AJ done with it? She hasn't really done a whole lot with it.
So let me ask you.
Gina.
So,
Just a quick question for you. What was your opinion as a woman with the unveiling of Bianca Belair? I've got no problem with saying she's pregnant, but the way it was, I've got to be honest.
Rated, we can't hear you, Rated.
yeah, Raiden, we can't hear you very well.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was just going to say, what was your opinion about Bianca Belair, the unveil? I have no problems personally with saying she's pregnant, but the way they did it, to me, I was just like, what the hell is this?
He's asked.
I lied. I can't hear you that
Okay,
well.
He wants to know what you guys thought of Bianca Belair coming out to announce that she's not returning because she's potentially having a baby, even though she doesn't look like she's having a baby.
Hold on. Can I answer
Oh,
this first
she's
real
totally
quick?
having a baby. Like, you could tell she's having a baby. But I did say that she's got better abs than I do, even pregnant.
That's what I said. I look more pregnant than her. Was my
Yeah,
response.
but she's probably
I was like, good on you, Bianca.
She's also probably in her
Like,
first trimester, so she's not. She's just starting
yeah.
to show. So it's not like she's 9
For
months
sure.
pregnant. It's not like she's 9 months pregnant.
Well,
No,
right,
but
that kind of takes away from the appeal of doing this, like, whole look at my belly when you're still showing abs is
Yeah,
like an awkward pregnancy announcement.
You could still tell she's
Right.
pregnant though.
no, I mean, I thought it was like good for her. Congrats. I think it also takes the pressure off of everybody being like, when's Bianca coming back? When's Bianca coming back? Is she coming back for this? So it takes that pressure off, and I think that that's good. I seemed like everybody was congratulating her.
Weird. It felt like an awkward spot to put it. I feel like just in between, like, here's the main event, but like before that, here's John Cena to tell you we've got less attendance than last year, and here's Bianca with a surprise.
But here's one more.
I'll make 2 comments on that. So I think it was kind of an odd time for it, but I think a lot of the show was just filler. If you guys, like, Cena came out a couple times, he announced the attendance, and then the second time, he got it wrong. It was a completely different number.
No, he was. I thought he was making a joke that he added one more because
he added
pregnant.
he added 10 more though. It not one. Yeah, so it was that was that was what he was trying to do, but the number was different than the first time. You guys can go back and listen to it, I'm sure.
That's funny.
But as a guy who does not like women's wrestling, I really like when the female wrestlers announce their pregnancies, because I think it's a very empowering thing for women personally. As somebody who has a lot of kids, I think it's a beautiful thing, and I think when female talent shies away from it or hides from it, I lose a lot of respect for that personally. So I do like the gesture. I think it was a nice gesture.
I think it's
no,
also
I think it should be celebrated. Women should be able to have a career and do that and be able to announce it. I thought it was great.
I also think it's Bianca, because she's so connected with her audience that she wanted to share it instead of it just being like, a tweet that she's pregnant. I think she just wanted
Right.
to share it with the fans because she's so connected to her fan base. So, and honestly, where else were you going to do it in the show? To
Right.
me, it made the most sense right there because it came out of nowhere. It didn't really interrupt anything. So, Gina, I want to know what you thought about Paige's return.
I was very excited for it. I was expecting it. If you look at my predictions, I put that actual exact prediction on my card.
Right, but did you predict it reading spoilers or did you not? Did you avoid those?
No. No, I didn't. I did see that she canceled this morning. That was it. So if you want to put that spoiler in there, that was
I actually.
You guys hear me? I just want to make sure my mic's working.
Yeah, we hear you, DJ.
Okay, my shit wasn't working for like 5 minutes, and I was trying to interject something, and it wouldn't let me
Is
talk.
that why it got so peaceful?
Yes, it got so fucking.
It's funny because we did the space with Zeus's space. I think it was on Wednesday, and we were doing predictions. And at the end, I actually said that I could see Paige coming back, and that was before it was all like got out that she was re-signed and all that. So I was just saying it as like a wild, I could see it happening type thing. So, Kefis, how was the reaction live there for her? Was it as loud as it came off on TV, or was that them messing with the volume?
For Paige?
Yes.
Yeah, Paige was. Yeah, she got a pretty loud reaction.
Was that the loudest? Like, who do you think got the loudest pop live?
Females or
just in general?
I would say Randy got the loudest pop. Just thinking about it.
For his song, yeah.
Yeah, Randy got the loudest pop overall. Yeah, Paige was pretty loud. I don't know if it was louder than Becky's. Becky's entrance was really loud. Really, really loud.
Well, real quick, Lombardi hasn't said shit about Mania. I want to get his thoughts. You there, Nick?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, cool. I'm just driving right now, so I didn't know if it was going to come through the Bluetooth well enough. Enjoying listening to everyone. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else in a post-event, and of course, a post-WrestleMania to listen to some good conversations in the space. Am I crazy in saying I didn't absolutely? Am I crazy to say that this was not that bad of a Mania night? Because all I see in the IWC is this was the worst event they've ever seen in their lives, and everything's horrible and the sky's falling. Because I think there was a lot of really good stuff on this show. There are plenty of things to complain about, plenty of things I can nitpick, but I really don't think this was that bad of a show.
I think they did a good job in creating moments. Like they did make some successful moments out of this show. Paige returning, Becky getting the title back, Braun Breaker returning, and whatever the fuck this main event was somewhat of a big moment, I guess. We're talking about it and how bad it was.
That's what I think the main event left such a sour taste that it almost overpowers that it overpowers, because the only match that I really wasn't that impressed with was the women's 4-team match, but those are always kind of clunky to have 8 people in there and not that long of a time. But otherwise, there wasn't a ton of great matches. There was some good ones. But I think the main event, between the pacing, the slow, the weird, we're going to blow our load on the celebrities before the match even starts. I think that kind of soured everyone. I don't know what you guys think, but I felt like that ruined my initial image of it, because the main event just pissed me off so bad.
You see, I didn't look at it that way. Like, the main event, as I'm watching it, to be honest with you, at first I'm like, oh, great, we're getting Pat and Jelly Roll out of the fucking way right now. And let's just let Cody and Randy actually tell a story and have a match. And I would argue that they were telling a good story. Cody was not holding anything back, going after Randy. I do think that everything got totally fucked up because they had to shoehorn in Pat into this story. They could have told an excellent story with Cody and Randy. Randy turning heel because he sees that the hourglass is getting, smaller and smaller, and his opportunities to win his 15th title is getting, less and less. And Cody saying, "You're my mentor. I have so much respect for you," but Cody learning from last year that he can't be that way anymore. Like, because of the element of Pat, it made it difficult. So I actually was really happy that it started with them doing the spot with him and Jelly Roll. Then Pat coming out, and then Randy RKOing him was just, I just didn't understand. Like, I understood that they were trying to tell this thing of, oh, Pat pissed off Randy enough that he just decided, fuck it, I'm going to RKO him. But I don't think Pat did anything to warrant that in kayfabe. And then the ending, I mean, you're going to have Cody win, awesome, but then you're still going to end it with Randy punting him? Like, okay, so the story's ongoing.
Let me explain that part at least somewhat, because I thought, at least up to the end, I thought it was a double turn pretty much.
So did I.
You know what I mean? I thought that's pretty much what they were accomplishing, because I said that before the match. Okay, this is how I do a double turn. At some point, Randy's gonna get pissed at Pat, RKO's him. The crowd goes crazy because he RKO'd the guy we're pissed off at. Cody comes around, takes advantage of that, pins him 1, 2, 3, double turn complete. And then they undo all that work with Randy just trying to get more heat off of Cody to try to get some sympathy onto Cody, and it's just gonna make people go further the other way because you're forcing it.
Well, especially when you're doing the punt, the thing that the fans have been asking for. The start of the match, when the fans were booing the shit out of Cody, I looked at my girlfriend and I said, we're in the exact same spot as we were last year, because the people in that arena, in the stadium, are not going to boo Randy Orton and potentially one of his last WrestleManias, going for his 15th world title. Now, this time, they decided to not go the route of last year and have Cody lose. They decided to have him win and bleed like a stuffed pig. But I just found it to be a very odd choice after I thought some very good storytelling by Cody and Randy.
It was very counterproductive.
Yeah,
at least the ending bit, like the aftermatch was very counterproductive to whatever they were trying to accomplish in the match.
Agreed. No, for sure. But I mean, otherwise, I thought I think the biggest blemish on the show was just the timing of the other matches. I mean, Liv and Steph had no time. 7 minutes is kind of crazy for the story that they had on them. But I thought that Gunther and Seth was great. I thought that the opening match, while it was, it was what it was, and that's like how I've shifted my mindset when it comes to wrestling, where it's like, okay, it's a 6-man tag. It's just meant to make the crowd like somewhat excited. Speed did not embarrass anybody, so that was good, and nobody got hurt. So that to me is a success. And then you had the no holds barred unsanctioned match, but the thing was, is because it was on ESPN, they weren't going to do anything stupid and crazy, which I think was a mistake. Because if it was just on the app, maybe they would have had blood. Maybe they would have done a little bit more crazy stuff. Because I, as a fan, did not look at that match and go, "Oh, Drew's taking a vacation," or "Drew's going to go away for a little while now." Like, I looked at it, oh, okay, Drew just lost the match. He'll get him next time. I don't know.
Yeah, no. See, I knew going into this, Drew's going to shoot a movie, so I wasn't really.
Yeah.
No, but DJ, I think Nick.
Been waiting real quick.
Yeah, just Nick's point. I think he was just trying to make is they didn't write Drew off. There was nothing that wrote Drew off for him to disappear. It was just a loss, and then he could show up on SmackDown, and no one would question it because there's nothing to sell.
He was sitting up.
Right.
He was sitting up and like snarling at him. Like, I would have thought that the match was going to end with, Drew going through 4 tables and, maybe landing on thumbtacks or something that would like warrant like, oh wow, Drew's got to go away for a little bit. In kayfabe is what I'm saying. But I didn't feel that way at all. I think a part of it was because the first hour of the show was on ESPN2, and they're like, we can't do anything crazy on ESPN2, so this is what we got.
All right, let's get to ropes. He's been waiting.
No, I think you guys already hit what I was gonna bring up, and it was, just to answer to Nick or get his opinion, basically, because he's asking why people are feeling this way. Well, it's a show that starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, ends at 10 p.m. Eastern, in my time, but we get less than 2 hours of wrestling, and the women world title is 7 minutes, but Pat McAfee gets 5 minutes. That doesn't make any sense. And the whole thing with the double turn, and then it's not a double turn, and then RKOing Pat McAfee when because he didn't count fast. That shit. These people really sat in a creative room, and this is the best dog shit that they could come up with.
Hire me, just hire me already. I'm telling you, I could come up with better shit than this. Like, if there's a job application for him, I'll put it the fuck in. Because, like, again, I agree. At least we all agree there was a double turn now. I'm not fucking crazy.
I mean, Cody was definitely playing more the heel role, and Randy was, selling the back, whether he was really selling or if it was legit, who knows. So he was trying to get the sympathy. So they definitely reversed the roles during the match themselves, but, for some reason they just flipped it back by the time they went home and went off the air. But let's get 2 points in. He's got his hand up.
Am I robotic? Can you hear me?
We hear you okay for now.
All right, so WrestleMania was garbage. Trivia Mania was better. Me getting my 2 points was better. Brandon beating me way better than ever happened tonight. So, Liv and Stephanie was all right. Bianca having the baby, that was whatever, right? Montez, Bianca, congrats. Overall, this show was lackluster. I'll give it a C plus. It was not the best WrestleMania, but overall, I'll give it's average. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, because the worst thing I've ever seen in my life was yesterday when I lost. I only scored 2 points. So there's that.
I like that
Wow.
he's handling
That was
it
the
well.
response I've ever heard this motherfucker say.
I know he's handling it well. He's not screaming. He's not yelling. I'm impressed. I get the humbling worked, but anyway.
Humbling worked. Oh my god.
Overall, would you say this was okay? I want to go around and say better than last year's night one or worse than last year's night one.
Better, but a worse main event. This felt like WrestleMania Night 2 last year, if that makes sense.
I also think the one advantage, if you could even call it an advantage, is the fact that most likely this is kind of going to be forgotten by tomorrow night because we're going to get Punk and Roman. So I think that's the one.
And over Brock. Over Brock's going to overshine everything this week, guys.
Yeah. So but like I said, typically night one isn't the strong one. It's usually night two. So I expect there was just nothing to make this stand out. Like last year we had the three-way, so it stood out. There's just nothing about this that's going to be remembered as a saving grace for the show. Let's get Matt. Matt just came in, so let me get his thoughts on the show. You there? Matt?
We'll go back to him.
So, Kefis, what did you think? Would you think last year's night one was better or this year's night one?
I think last year's main event was probably better than every match this year, just because it was like the start of a new faction. So I would say last year was better, but I would also say that if they had last year as the model and the template for a really, really bad WrestleMania, and even if anyone gives it a slight edge over this year or this year over last year or vice versa, I think that's a big problem. They had a template, they had the model for a very bad WrestleMania, and they couldn't outdo it. And that's not to say they couldn't. I mean, night two is still coming tomorrow. I think night two is going to be I'm way more excited about night two after today. But yeah, night one was not a WrestleMania worthy event. So no, I would say last year was way better.
Dr. Gina, what about you?
All right, is this thing on? Can you all hear me?
Yeah, give it 1 second, Matt. I'll get to you in 1 second.
Okay, perfect. All right, you go.
What, you want me to go?
Yeah, Dr. Gina, I just want to know if you thought last year's was better, night one, or this year.
So my answer is a little weird because I don't really remember last year. I had cancer last year. And I honestly went through so many surgeries and everything that I was just saying to my husband, I don't really remember last year. I don't remember the matches. I don't remember anything. So to me, this year is way better because I don't have cancer and I remember everything. So, so for me, this year.
Yep, I'll agree with that one. Okay, Matt, what's up? What did you think of Mania?
Okay. For real this time. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, very good. Fucking finally. So I didn't really watch most of the matches because, to be honest, I was working at my store. I had it on in the background. But from what I can say, it felt weird this WrestleMania. Is it just me, or did the matches feel short as fuck? I'm like, why are these so short? Why? Wait, it felt like TKO was just like, all right, let's wrap it up. Keep going. Go, go, go. The matches just fucking were on fast forward.
They were. They were really short. There was a title match that was 7 minutes.
It just felt so short besides the main event. But honestly, I don't know. Just like, I'm not trying to be harsh. I don't want to be like those YouTubers that constantly shit on WWE. But it's like, let's be serious. Is this really the end of the Pat McAfee story? You're fucking telling me you're just going to end it like that? I'm happy Randy Orton turned on Pat. I'm so happy that he fucking is not going to team with him. But to have Cody retain, Randy fucking is all bloodied up, both of them. I'm like, that's how you end it? At least fucking the last year we had Paul Heyman turn on Roman and Punk. That was a great match, great ending. It sadly led to nothing, but at least it was a great ending. This year, it's like nothing really. Like, I don't really know what else to say. First match was fine. Fatu and McIntyre was great. I think that was a great match. Rollins and Gunther was great. I'm happy Braun Breaker's back. Paige, I'm happy she's back, but I fucking hated it because I already knew she was coming because the fucking journalist spoiled it. Now, this is a personal one. I had some people doubt me on this. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, I fucking told you all Becky was winning because she shouldn't have lost. She was not losing a fourth time. And Liv Morgan won, which I'm happy about. But this year, honestly, last year's was better, night one.
DJ, what did you think? Night one this year or last year?
Oh, I already said this year was way better than last year, but the this year felt like last year's night two, where night two had pretty much all the better matches, but the main event was so lackadaisical and sucked that it pretty much sucked the wind out of most of the night and took, people's mind off of everything. And it's kind of the Cody Rhodes effect now. That's what I'm chalking up to, because those are what the two things have in common. Cody main evented both of those nights. So there were some matches that were like meh, but everything wasn't too atrocious. I give this a C plus.
I don't see how tomorrow night can be worse than today. I just don't see how it's possible. So I would say maybe a C minus tonight. I think that's being kind. Maybe a D plus.
And Triple H just said challenge accepted for tomorrow night now. He's going to make it worse. Thank you for putting that out there.
Oh, shut up. Don't do it.
But
I think.
Go ahead, Matt.
I think tomorrow, honestly, is going to be better because, come on, it's fucking hard to say night two is going to be worse because tomorrow you have Brock Lesnar, you have Roman Reigns, CM Punk, the Intercontinental Ladder match, you have Demon Balor, you have Trick Williams, Oklahoma. Night two is clearly the real WrestleMania. This is the real WrestleMania we're about to watch. I feel like this year, because my problem with the two nights is that night one feels like, that feels like just another Monday Night Raw. Tomorrow, however, that's the real WrestleMania. This is the real WrestleMania we're about to watch.
Yeah, but that's the problem. One shouldn't feel like that compared to the other.
And that sucks because I feel WrestleMania 37, 38, and 39 and 40 did not have that problem. 40, when I watched, was fucking phenomenal. WrestleMania 40 had zero bad matches. Well, besides Jimmy and Jay's match. But one bad match compared to fucking every match that was at least an 8 or 10 out of 10.
I just don't understand how the Usos messed up the 1D. I saw that. I was like, wow, how do you mess up your finisher?
I don't know.
Yeah. But does anyone else have any final thoughts about night one of WrestleMania?
If I can just say, sorry. No, Dr. Gina, you go first, please.
I just had one thing I was going to add about with Gunther is I think that his favor he's going to ask from Paul Heyman is going to be for a match against drawing a blank.
Brock
Lesnar. Sorry, I had a couple too many drinks. Yeah, and so I think that that's going to be for SummerSlam. That's my thought, and that's all I have to say.
Anyone else want to get some final thoughts in?
The only way night 2 can be worse than the night is if Oba loses.
What do you think about that? Is that really going to make the night bad if it's a good match and a close match and they're just King Kong versus Godzilla and he just catches him with an F5? Is it really going to make the night worse? I think if he completely destroys him, it's going to make the night that's going to completely take out everything from the night. But I don't think Brock winning is necessarily going to be the end of WrestleMania for tomorrow night.
You got too much going on good with Oba, putting him on the big stage, letting Brock win, especially after the promo we cut Monday night. We didn't even really know that he could do that until Monday. I just think it's a terrible idea to have him lose that match.
I don't disagree. I think Oba should win. I'm just saying I don't think it would ruin the night if he lost. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's a smart booking move. I just don't think it would be like the end that would ruin everything. That's all I mean. All right, DJ, you got anything else?
No, I'm all good for now. Ropes, you got anything to add?
I just gotta say that we cannot even use last year WrestleMania Night 1 as a template because that is putting the bar is so low for last year during Night 1 that
if we're judging this purely on overall WrestleManias, this is definitely one of the weaker ones. Yes, I
yes. Like today wasn't that. It's just not something. You got less than probably a lot of WrestleManias in the past. I mean, we cannot even put, like DJ said, you cannot give this more than a C. I'll probably give it a D.
I gave it a C plus. The reason I'm giving it a C plus is because the opening match was really good. Gunther Seth knocked it out the fucking park, and I really like Stephanie and Liv. And the Page return was a nice return and a nice moment to have on WrestleMania. So they accomplished things with giving us some good moments and giving us some good matches. Matches could be longer, and some matches could be better, and some matches could not even be on the card.
Well,
and also when you don't deliver on your main event, that really, really leaves a sour taste.
Well, DJ, I'm revoking your credentials because you gave it a C, just so you know. So.
C plus.
Oh, okay. You can keep your credentials. It's only when you give it a C that we reject your credentials.
What did George Bush say? If you get a C plus, you can see. So C plus doesn't sound so bad. I'm just kidding. That's probably a very fair grade to give it. If I can just say one.
WrestleMania gets a B.
I'm seeing some things that the total match times were 84 minutes out of a total of 240.
I mean that looks about right. 22.
Just I wanted to throw that out there. Not sure if it's correct or not, but that's what we're seeing is about
That's close to what we
total
were.
wrestling time 84 minutes. Was that wait 84 85 out of 240 minutes.
That actually might be more than what I'm seeing here on Wikipedia.
Okay.
So.
I mean, as an academic, I don't trust Wikipedia, but that's just me.
Well, I'm just looking. I'm just looking at the. I'm just looking at. They have.
I had to call you out, Brandon.
It's not me.
Always trust the internet. It's right about everything.
I'm just going by.
Just ask Claude. Can we just come on? Let's go. What are we doing here?
I mean, it's better than Cage Match.
I do have a random thought or question, I guess. I paid no attention really to the Hall of Fame outside of the fact that AJ getting in 2 months after retiring. I love AJ Styles. I don't know that we need to keep immediately putting people in. But was Stephanie and her big boobs really just the headline of the whole Hall of Fame? She was
I'm
actually
glad
the
you
main
said that
act
because I was so distracted when she came out. I was
God,
like, holy
God bless
mama,
her.
Stephanie.
And she has always just been grade A. But that was the owner of the company got to make herself employee of the month. Like, it just seemed so bizarre that she really was the headliner. So I didn't know if that was me losing my mind or if that was really Ethan last night. She was the headline of the class.
Here's the
Hey,
problem.
last year it was Triple H.
Yeah, and last year it was Triple H. And all I was going to say is it was rough to have her go first and have the longest lead in. And I think that's where the mistake was because you had her 3 daughters each give their own mini speech. Then Linda went up there and just, my goodness gracious, please don't ever give Linda a mic ever again in the big 2026 or beyond because my goodness gracious, she just was going on and on and on. My favorite part is she opens what she says with, she means to say, I know I'm biased, but I think these 3 girls did great. She opens it by saying, I know I'm prejudiced, but these 3 girls did great, which basically means she just called herself a racist on TV.
Well, you
So
know,
it's just,
being a racist and being prejudiced towards something, I think people are taking that with the whole everything outside of wrestling that she deals with, that she's involved with, and they're running with it. I mean, you could be prejudiced towards something doesn't mean that you're racist.
I understand. No, and I'm not saying I understand that. I'm just saying it just was stupid. It was a poor choice of words. I'm sorry. And
But it's not the first time she's done that. I think, what did she say? She said something a few months ago where she called something, she called AI like A1 or something like that.
Yeah, like A1 steak sauce, right? No, but I think that's where it was like a little annoying because I thought that Stephanie had a great video package. I thought her speech was very nice. She made it so much not about her and so much about other people. But I think the problem was the lead-in was just so long it kind of overshadowed everybody else.
And her video was 9 minutes long. She had a 9-minute video.
Yeah.
And
so longer than the women's title match?
Or just about this. Actually, yeah, because according to this, the women's title match was 9 minutes. I think her video was 9 minutes and 3 seconds. So yes.
Holy shit.
I mean, I'll argue it was warranted. It's warranted. She's Stephanie McMahon.
Come on, she's fucking Stephanie McMahon. But all I'll say, because I didn't mention the Hall of Fame, it might be on hot take, but I think Demolition had the best Hall of Fame induction speech. They got their long overdue induction. Their speech was short, simple, sweet, excellent. They were phenomenal. Demolition was great, and her.
No, Dennis Rodman had the best speech.
Wait, Cordell, that's you?
Yeah, 2 points.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm not explaining it. It's too late in nighttime. I'm not explaining it.
All right. I'll talk to you
Wait,
later.
was Repo Man there, or did they leave him out of the Hall of Fame?
They left him out.
Poor
they
guy.
left him out. But I love how his kids are there, his grandkids. I'm like, I can't imagine what his grandkids are. It's like, hey, did you know my grandpa was Axe and Smash from Demolition? Like, I can see them showing a picture of their friends from school, Axe and Smash from the 80s. They're like, that was my grandpa.
You sure you didn't show him that he was Crusher Khrushchev?
Maybe, I don't know. But Stephanie McMahon's speech, I know like it's a pain because I know everyone's fucking heard it already, but seeing Vince McMahon in the video package and seeing him from the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression, brought a smile to my face because I'm so happy they're
Of
not
course,
Ben wanting
of
him.
course you
They're
did, man. Come on.
I'm happy because WWE 2K24, the video game, blurred out Vince McMahon. But I'm happy they're not doing it anymore. They're actually showing him, which gives me hope that maybe they're not going to blur him out or remove him from games anymore.
Well, I
Bring
mean,
him back.
you can't talk about Stephanie without
without her
Vince.
father.
I mean,
Yeah.
literally, what 80% of whatever she did was surrounded by,
Vince,
intertwined with the McMahon saga. So how do you show highlights without
without Vince?
Yeah, exactly. So
exactly.
Stephanie McMahon went in the Hall of Fame, not Stephanie Levesque.
Exactly.
Yep. Oh no, you're right about that. But I'm just saying, if this was 2024, his fucking face would have been blurred out of every shot, just like they did in the video game.
But why does Sami Zayn need a stray?
Because he deserves a stray. I
You
hope
know.
Trick fucking beats the brakes off of him tomorrow.
Sadly, Trick
Gingerbread
Williams is
man.
going to lose. Trick is going to lose. He stood tall. If you stand tall, before the show, you lose.
Don't. Every black man ever deserves to win.
I want Trick to win too, but Sami Zayn is going to beat him, and he's going to turn heel.
That's where I think you'll see the full double
What's the
turn.
point of him turning heel?
I think it's just
that's the story. Everyone is turned on Sami.
I just think that I think we'll see a double turn on that. Herm, what's up? What did you watch Mania and what did you think?
It wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it wasn't as good as it could have been either. About middle ground on that. But no, they're talking about Sam Trick. I'm thinking that match is going to fucking end in a disqualification. I'm really thinking I think Sammy's going to go outside, grab a weapon, maybe even grab the top. Intentionally disqualified.
I think that would be
I think eventually they want to go back.
I think that would take
I'm
the
sorry, go
air.
ahead.
That would take the air out of the arena if they did a disqualification.
Yeah, it would, but at the same time, though, you see all the title changes that happened tonight in the women's tag title change, women's. All right, you'll probably get, the Intercontinental title. I would think it's going to change. And the
Yeah,
world
Herm, we're losing you.
don't know.
You're all jumbled. We can't make you out.
He said the world title and the IC title tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, those change hands tomorrow, but I think the WWE title, the women's title, is going to change hands.
I mean,
So I think it might walk out.
I didn't think the women's title was going to change hands, but now with the Bianca announcement, I think there's a very good possibility it might.
If you do that, then every women's title changes hands at WrestleMania that was defended, and that's a bit much.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
I hope it doesn't because
That was the most shocking part of the night, honestly.
But
sorry to interrupt, but when Bianca came out with John Cena, I'm having a baby. And that was the most shocking because I thought she was announcing she's back. I didn't think she'd be gone even longer because of the pregnancy, which that explains why Montez and Angelo Dawkins have been out. They're both become dads.
You gotta look at the belly.
Yep, Angelo Dawkins and Montez are not going to be on TV for a while. They got to become dads now.
they don't need to be off TV for the next 9 months because the wife is pregnant, though.
I think Montez has like 8 months from looking at the stomach.
That's what I'm saying. Jimmy Uso's been on TV, and Naomi's been pregnant.
Fuck.
But
all right, well, it gives me hope at least because Bianca's a top. I don't think they would release, her husband.
But
because I'm dreading it, and I hate talking about this because this happens every year. Every year before or after Mania, they start to do their yearly releases. And the Street Profits have been missing for months. I hope they don't get cut. But seeing that, I'm like, okay, they're not going to get cut. Bianca's just pregnant. That's all.
I think that's going to wrap it up for.
If anything wants to get released, Then the Street Profits. It
Man,
should
y'all,
be
okay, I'm about to stick up for Brandon. Y'all talking too goddamn much. He wants to end this shit. Let him end it. Y'all talking too fucking much. Any last words? No? Okay,
We'll be back tomorrow for after night 2 of Mania.
Right.
Because we're coming up on 2 hours. So I'm gonna end it here, and we'll be back tomorrow
take y'all
night.
ass to bed.
We'll be back tomorrow night, so please join us tomorrow so we could talk about everything. Thank you, guys.